Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Voting Voice. Today's episode focuses on political polarization, specifically the concrete causes behind it and the key events that accelerated it across different countries. So, political polarization is when political identities harden, compromise declines, and opposing groups to begin to view each other as fundamentally illegitimate. To understand how we got here, it is useful to look at specific turning points. In the United States, one early structural shift was the ideological sorting of political parties that accelerated in the late 20th century. You got conservative Democrats and liberal Republicans largely disappeared, leaving two parties that are more internally consistent and more opposed to each other. A major event that intensified polarization was the 2008 financial crisis. The crisis damaged trust in economic and political institutions. In response, movements like the Tea Party on the right and Occupy Wall Street on the left emerged, and both expressed anger toward elites, but in different ways. For the left, it was more like, "Oh, stop bailing out banks," and then on the right, it was more like, "Oh, stop government spending." And then the 2016 presidential election marked another escalation. Campaign rhetoric focused heavily on identity, immigration, and distrust of institutions. After the election, polarization did not decrease, but it did become more embedded in media, social networks, and everyday political discussion. In the United Kingdom, polarization was significantly shaped by the 2016 Brexit referendum. Before Brexit, divisions over the European Union existed but were not central to political identity. The referendum forced a binary choice: leave or remain. The binary structure pushed voters into opposing camps and reduced space for compromise. After the political parties themselves became divided internally, and debates over sovereignty, immigration, and economic policy intensified. In France, polarization has taken the form of a fragmented political system. The traditional center-left and center-right parties weakened, while more extreme or anti-establishment candidates gained support. The 2017 and 2022 presidential elections, particularly the contest between Emmanuel Macron and Marine Le Pen, reflected a sharper divide between globalist and nationalist visions of France. In Germany, polarization increased more gradually but became more visible after the 2015 refugee crisis. The arrival of over 1 million refugees intensified debates about immigration and national identity. The Alternative for Germany party gained support by opposing immigration policies, which introduced stronger ideological divisions into German politics that include nativism and the fear that there was going to be a immigration invasion, end quotes, by not being hard enough on immigration. In Brazil, polarization escalated rapidly during the 2010s. The corruption investigations known as Operation Car Wash undermined trust in political elites across multiple parties. This created conditions for Jair Bolsonaro's rise in 2018. His presidency further divided the country, particularly over issues like public health policy during the COVID-19 and the role of democratic institutions. In India, polarization has been closely tied to nationalism and religious identity. Under Prime Minister Narendra Modi, political messaging has emphasized national unity and cultural identity. Events such as the Citizenship Amendment Act protests in 2020 highlighted deep divisions over the role of religion in citizenship and the direction of the country. Across these cases, several consistent causes appear. First, there are major crises such as financial collapses or migration surges act as catalysts. They increase uncertainty and make voters more receptive to strong, simplified political narratives. Second is institutional distrust plays a central role. When people lose confidence in governments or media, they are more likely to align strongly with political groups that claim to represent them. Third is political incentives reinforce division, as leaders often gain support by clearly distinguishing themselves from opponents rather than seeking compromise. Finally, modern media environments amplify polarization. This includes conflict driven or emotionally charged messaging. The result is a political environment where division is not accidental but is reinforced by structures, incentives, and events. Polarization in this sense is not tied to a single country. It is a recurring pattern shaped by similar pressures across different political systems. In the next episode, we will examine how one specific issue, such as immigration, interacts with these divisions and becomes a central driver of political conflict. Thank you for listening to Vote and Voice, and make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you.